Hey girl, hey. Hey boys, hey. And for all the people that think my intro is cringy, hey girl, hey. Hey girl, hey. Hey girl, hey. Hey girl, hey. Hey boys, hey. Hey boys, hey. That's for all you people that think my intro is cringy. And I'm going to say it throughout the whole time. Hey girl, hey. Hey boy, hey. I'm going to say it a million times however I want. So how is everybody? Welcome, welcome. It's MAMABUDEEZ here, and I am super excited to be live again. How is everybody? Yeah, the stepmom is wackadoodle, and the people that are defending her, there is a group, you guys, that is defending her. There's also a group that wants to change. That same group that is supporting her wants to change the blue lights that they have for Gannon to pink lights for her in support of her. She wants all the groups taken down because but she doesn't want her group supportive Tecia taken down. She just wants all the other groups taken down. Good luck getting it taken down from YouTube, sister. You have become YouTube's most talked about woman since NK. So get used to it, sister. Ooh, snow day. I missed you guys too. The only reason why I did that in the beginning was because I've had some people say that they really hate my intro. And instead of, taking it to heart and thinking I need to change it, I'm going to stand firm with my intro and say, hey, girl, hey. Hey, boys, hey. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, boys, hey. That's just who I am. You tell me to do something and I'm going to rebel. Yes, pink is for Harley. I agree. Most definitely. Hi, Donna. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Ramelia. Hi, Tristan. Hi, Lisa. Hey, hey. Yes, and Emma. Hey, girl. I am so excited to see everyone. Yes, and I'm not going to because this is who I am. Anyway, let's get on with it. This is a place that we do not hate. We participate, we articulate, we speculate, and if you don't act right, we'll have to regulate. It is a place that we can agree to disagree, but if your delivery is off in disagreeing, then you are going to be blocked. So try to sugarcoat it if you want to. Say you have an 8 head, but I like your voice. You need to stop messing with your hair, but I like your content. Come on, you guys. Don't be so hateful. Life is not so hateful. I used to be hateful and bitter like that all the time, and it got me nowhere. It got me further and further into the bottomless pit of depression that I used to be in. It got me further and further into addiction. I used to be confrontational. I used to be revengeful. I used to be all those things. I used to get you before you got me. I used to threaten people to call the cops on them, but I was never a cop caller in my entire life. I would just threaten them to see them squirm, knowing good and well that I wasn't calling any cops on them. But if they broke a crime or if they, committed a crime and I saw it, I would say, cops are on the way, buddy, knowing good and darn well that I never called any cops, that I'm not a snitch. If you put my life or my kid's life in danger, I will defend myself and then call the cops. So, yeah, that was just ugly. And every day I woke up with more drama. Every day I woke up with no friends. Every day I woke up having to combat my life and defend myself. And now when I decided to change that person and stop caring what other people do, I am living my best life, you guys. I am. Definitely living my best life, and I rarely cry anymore. I rarely go off on people, and I mean, I'm still human and I'm still flesh. Of course, I'm not perfect, so I do have days where I fall and I stumble and I see the old me coming out. But you best believe I put a lid on it real quick because I can recognize it now. Before, I just went on feelings and emotions. And then I ended up looking like a fool afterwards and burning bridges that I couldn't rebuild. So I learned, well, if you're having these same problems with all the people in your life, maybe the problem's me. Maybe I need to change. Maybe I need to stop telling everybody else what to do and worry about myself. And when I took a good look at myself when I turned 40 2 years ago, I didn't like who I saw. I didn't like that person. I definitely could see why I wouldn't want to be friends with myself. I would be afraid that I'm going to go off at some point in time. I wouldn't want anything to do with me. So I decided that I was going to become the person that I wanted everyone else to be. Instead of trying to make everyone else act a certain way or be a certain way towards me, I realized that I had to set the example, that these people are just like me. They had the same lives. They didn't have role models to look after. They didn't know who to mimic. They didn't know who to look up to, because you have nothing but bad people in your life and you're actually doing the best. You're doing better than all these people, so you don't have to change. And that's not the way that life works. You have to clean off your own doorstep before you start cleaning others. And I have had dramatic changes in my life. I have kept jobs. I have gotten close with some of the most amazing people, because now I am worthy of all those things. Before, I would be worthy of them, but then I'd tear them all down and then try to rebuild them. But the damage is still there. So, all right. Look at all the Galentines here for you, Mama. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm procrastinating. I'm cleaning my bedroom. It's snowing and cold, so I'm blaming you. I have to watch MAMABUDEEZ. Thank you. I do the same thing, sister. I'll stay in my pajamas all day just so I don't have to do anything. So I get it. All right, so let's read this absurd statement from Tecia. I'm going to try not to read it word for word because it was an exclusive interview that she did with Fox News. And I'm afraid that I'll get a strike on my channel. So I'm basically going to try to paraphrase if I can. She starts out by saying, first and foremost, I would like to thank all the agencies, and she goes on to name them and list them and talking about the community and volunteers and saying that they're working diligently and praying endlessly to bring Gannon home. So she also thanks her husband, who she says has stayed strong and protected the family to the best of his ability. So, and she wanted to thank the immediate and extended family members and the family members on the East Coast out here where I am. So she's got family members out here. But if it's true that the husband broke down when he saw the video that Gannon was not with her, and she's saying that he got out on the other side of the truck and that the video didn't pick that up, but there hasn't been any proof of that. And she is somebody that likes to put out whatever she has to defend herself. But in all actuality, it incriminates her more with the stuff that she's putting out. The video that she put out about the night before when Gannon is crying his eyes out, he sounds like he is hurt. He doesn't sound like he's just upset. He sounds like he is hurt. And then she so she puts this video out thinking that it's going to help people believe that he ran away, but in all actuality, it made people think even more that she hurt him. She starts manipulating him in the video and saying, well, now we're going to have to sell the couch or sell everything in order to keep the house. Are you sure you didn't do this on purpose? She's like trying to coerce him into saying that he did it on purpose. She would not take that it was an accident at face value. She had to manipulate him, and you can hear it in this video, and it's on True Crime Colorado if you want to go hear it. It's also in my Patreon group if you are in there. If you want to be in the Patreon group, the link is down below. I don't disappear from there. I'm always making posts in the Patreon every day. I haven't missed a day yet. So if you want to keep in contact with me whenever I'm dipping off of YouTube for a few days, then the link for the Patreon is down below. You can join at a $3 level and get into our secret Facebook group, or you can join at a $9 level and get in our secret Facebook group, and I'll send you a set of nails. So your $9 pretty much covers the free set of nails, and you're getting in the Patreon that first month for free. If you would love the nail strips, these, then you would get in there at the $25 level, and that gets you 2 free sets of nails mailed to you every month. The $9 level is just the first month, but the $25 level is every month. And so really you're paying $15 to get those 2 sets of nails shipped to you, and you're only paying $10 to be in the Patreon. So that's how that works. If you're interested in that, the link is down below. Join the Patreon. I'll get an email and then be looking for an email from me shortly after. But I find it hard to believe, going back to Tecia, that she is saying that he cut his foot in the garage on Saturday. And she's also saying that Monday she took him on a hike. But I don't know if any of you guys have cut your foot before. You definitely aren't walking around on it afterwards, and you're definitely not sticking it in a dirty shoe or a dirty hiking boot. So if it's true that she said he cut his foot on his dad's woodwork tools in the garage, then he definitely wouldn't be sticking it into a tennis shoe or a boot to go hiking. So I think the whole hiking thing is bogus as well. So this is what she's saying. She thanked her husband, her extended family. She says this to Gannon: please come home soon, because your daddy is waiting to watch the new Sonic movie that comes out this week, and the cool shirt I got you to wear to the theater in your closet. Okay, this hit home really hardcore for me. My son loves Sonic. I don't know if you guys have seen him talking about him on the channel, but my son is being taken on Valentine's Day. Tomorrow, he is my Valentine, and we are going to see this Sonic movie that just came out. He has wanted to see this movie ever since the first preview. And so the fact that she went out and bought him a shirt is just more cover up, in my opinion, for her to be thinking, yeah, if I buy him a shirt, I think he's coming home. And so it breaks my heart to hear that he wanted to go see that Sonic movie, because my son wants to go see it too. And I promised him for the last 2 weeks that I would take him on Valentine's Day during the day when everybody else is in school, so we can have the theater to ourselves. And I just can't believe this. It's just so devastating. Oh, exactly. So then she says that she's got the Sonic shirt hanging in her closet. She says social media has been devastating, from the harsh comments, speculations, threats, cyberbullying, etc. She says it's a challenge when people are trying to run you off the road, which I do not believe, waiting outside of your hotel. Why are you in a hotel? Why are you not at home? I don't understand why you're even at a hotel, but waiting on you outside your hotel, threatening to kill you. I encourage the sheriff's office to take down those pages that promote negative behavior and violence. Let's do what Gannon would do and be kind to one another. Well, then your group needs to be taken down, honey, because there's a lot of hate in that group. There is a lot of people that are being, maybe the people in your so-called group are the people that are harassing you, and you don't have as many friends as you think you are. Maybe you shouldn't trust this group as much as you think you do, because people are smart. I was a mole. I went into Critical Case Patreon and I got the Missing NK chapter. I was a mole. I'll be the first to say it. So those people could be in that group, Tecia, to get information on you, to get you to befriend them so they can turn around and use it against you. So it's ridiculous that you trust that group. It's ridiculous that that group was even made, because I guarantee you half the people in there are pretending so they can get you. And I don't mean in a physical way. I mean, they can get you with information that you give them to turn around and get you legally, you guys. Okay, so then she says that we all have engaged in something crazy online at some point, but Gannon would want everyone to get along and focus on finding him. So she says that because she knows that the world saw her comments where she's fighting back and forth with people, being ridiculous. She says things like keyboard warrior. She says things like armchair detectives, internet sleuths. I mean, she was just going off, but she must have lawyered up by now. And her lawyer told her to make a statement, and it looks like the lawyer probably helped her type it out, because this is not how Tecia has been talking the last 2 weeks, you guys. You know that she has gotten super ghetto-fied and a little cray-cray on the internet. So she says that, so she admits it here. She said, I know that many people have kids and are invested in this because it hits close to home for them. Yes, especially since you made your Sonic comment. And I would like to think that overall, most people are genuine and want to do everything in their power to find G, including you. We would like to think that you're genuine and that you have done everything in your power to find G, but you have not. You have not. And I hope you're watching this video. That's why I put your name in it. Let's see. She said that, please take a step back for a moment and let me explain to you a few details that were not released. For example, just like the video that was leaked, there are additional details that were hidden due to, one, the department doing their job. You leaked that video. Oh, no, that was the neighbor's video that she's talking about. I thought you were talking about the video that she leaked of Gannon crying over the accident. So then she said, too, the effects of social media and how some people would criticize or hinder the investigation. I chose to listen. I didn't leak videos or information. Yes, you did. You leaked that video of him the night before. But at this time, it's getting later in the process and we just want Gannon home. I feel the need to fill in some gaps. Now, let me stress this. Police have known this since the first interview. Saturday night, G was helping me unload in the garage and cut his foot because there was a lot of tools because of Albert doing his woodworking. That's Gannon's dad. He sat on the edge of the car and we bandaged it up. It was good to go. He always loves helping his dad in the garage build things like this, Lego tables and the flower pot they built me for a gift. After this, I noticed G kept going to the side of the house. He told me he was checking to see if the gate was locked because he was the one with the gate key. It made him proud to be the man of the house while Albert was away. Fast forward, we did a hike on Sunday, cleared. So the night after you did, so I was wrong. She didn't hike on Monday. She hiked on Sunday. So Gannon cut his foot on Saturday night and you woke up the next day and decided it was okay to go on a hike? How does that make any sense? Wow. She said, where did I go? Oh, yeah. So she said, fast forward, we did a hike on Sunday, cleared, and shopping on Monday, cleared as well for him getting out of the other side. She's trying to say he got out of the other side of the truck during that. But we all know that we would have seen shadows and stuff like that, like we did with the Watts girls. She said, please don't think for a second that there isn't enough technology to determine movement around the truck. There was also proof from my phone that he had taken a selfie in the truck in our driveway that was time-stamped. If that was true, she would have put that out when she put the video out. She would have shared that selfie that he took that was time-stamped with the world when she was sharing that audio of Gannon with the world. So I do not believe that for 1 second, or it would be out. He told me he was checking. Oh, there was proof on the phone that we'd taken a selfie in the truck in our driveway that was timestamped. We also send pictures to Albert when we are out, and that, and about or when he is away. That can be scanned for actual time verification. Last, from day one, the sheriff's office has known a description of the friend whom Gannon left with. I explained to them and provided evidence. They had information about G having the key to go out the side gate. Last, they were more in-depth details that's going along with this, pointing to who sent the person or why he may have come. Again, I repeat, they have had this initially, and I have asked to keep quiet. I was asked to keep quiet about it so they could have the best shot at doing their job and bringing G home. The last thing that they needed was a hindrance to their investigation. I encourage you to think of any suspicious cars that may have been in the area watching a few days prior and keep praying for G. So the media relations manager of the El Paso County Sheriff's Office responded to Leticia's statement Wednesday during an interview. When asked whether the sheriff's office had information about a person or friend whom Gannon left the home with the day he disappeared, Kirby said that is part of our investigation. She said they cannot rule out the possibility that Gannon was abducted, but would not say whether they found evidence to corroborate that. Fox 31 also asked whether the sheriff's office is doing anything to protect the family based on Leticia's claims that she was receiving death threats. And they said, right now, our investigation is surrounding the search for Gannon and bringing him home safely to his family, said Kirby. So no, they're not protecting her. And in my opinion, that says, why would we protect the villain? We're trying to protect Gannon. I feel like the police know more about the stepmom than they're saying. So if these things were true, that she was getting death threats and all that, they would be gung-ho to protect her. But obviously, he said that's not our priority because she's the suspect. When you release information, it's because that investigation allows for the release of information. Right now, what we have and what we know, we are not going to share with the public to protect the integrity of the investigation. Anyone with information about Stauch's whereabouts should contact the sheriff's office at 719-520-6666. Let me read some of y'all's comments. Yep, there's a GoFundMe set up for her. I agree, no shadows. She is sadistic. It made me cry so hard too. I contacted you, Brandy, right after and was like, oh my God, I have to cover this Gannon case because I just heard this baby boy crying and this stepmother manipulating him. And I thought she was innocent, you guys. I was on the bandwagon all the way up until that audio was released that this woman is innocent until proven guilty. I had her back, just like I had Shane's back. But when that audio came out where he's crying and she's saying, well, we'll have to sell the couch so we don't get kicked out, that burned me up more than you could ever know. And it became my sole mission to get this word out there. Sure enough, Tecia, you hung yourself. And that is the metaphor. I'm talking about hung up in the investigation. You got hung up in the investigation because of your own actions, because your lack of empathy, your lack of everything. You remind me of Piss Rots. That's who you remind me of. And that's a metaphor or a alias because I refuse to say his name, from Frederick, Colorado. And that is who the stepmother reminds me of. She is great at lying. She is a manipulator, a gaslighter, and I am upset with the father for leaving him with her. It was bandaged with a sock on. You can wear a shoe, but I still don't believe the stepmother. I think she cut. I know they can wear a shoe, Maureen. I'm not saying you can't wear a shoe. You can definitely put a shoe on, but you're not going to want to go hiking 12 hours later. That was the point I was making, not that he wouldn't put a shoe on. He was bleeding. I believe she used that story about his foot because they may have found his blood in the garage. Yeah, I know she did, Amber. That's exactly what she did it for. Hey, Mama, glad to see you live. I need to catch up on this case. Will you do a full background on this? Yes, I already have, love. Just go back and watch my Gannon videos. There's other videos on here, and it'll catch you all up. Right now is just the updates after that video. So just go back on my videos, Bridget, and find the Gannon video. She even had to add she sat him on the truck so she could bandage his foot. She's covering up for the blood in garage. And yeah, you would take them right in to wash it off. You would not bandage it up on the side of the van. You would take them inside and wash it off or get your first aid kit, something like that. She's a big fat liar. I wouldn't give a crap if I had hate. I'd be doing everything to find him. She's gaslighting. She's covering her arse. I think the lawyer made her do that tearful plea. She didn't even let us see tears. Yeah, I think the lawyer made her do the statement too. She changes her story way too much. She knows what happened. I agree totally. Why is she now releasing info that she says it shouldn't be released? That's in itself shows she only cares about how she looks. Exactly, because she's trying to profess her innocence, and we're not buying it. How about the way she talked about the bio mom? She is trash. Oh, I agree 100%. Here, her and Heather should be jailmates. They are both a tad bit crazy. Yeah, and they both have law enforcement on their side covering for them. Do you think Gannon may have called someone to come get him and net them at the back gate hiding from crazy stepmom? I don't know. Do we know when Albert's supposed to return? Maybe maybe Gannon will show up when his dad gets back. Maybe his dad needs to come home from his training or wherever he is. Does anyone know where Albert is during all of this? I know that he was away on some mission training brigade thing for Colorado, but did he not come home? Why do you think Gannon thanks Mama for the updates? Oh, absolutely, sister. Absolutely. You can watch the other video and then rewatch this one and you'll be caught up to speed. Or and Bridget, you're in my Patreon, so you could go listen to the audio of Gannon in my Patreon. You'll see it from True Crime Colorado if you scroll down the page. The news is getting ready to give an update on missing 6-year-old Faye Marie. Yes, I covered that in my Patreon yesterday, and I have a video that I'm getting ready to upload for her. So I'm so glad they're giving me an update so I can add that to the end of the video. Thank you, Hibiscus Ivy. That is in South Carolina, you guys. The missing 6-year-old Faye. I can just go ahead and tell you about it real fast. Yes, Faye Swetlik is her name. Let me just give you the details. I covered that story in my Patreon, but it is a very, very devastating story, and I'm going to go ahead and cover it, and then I'll add it to the title. But basically, this little girl got off the bus in South Carolina, and she got off the bus around 3:15, and her parents seen her at 3:45 playing in the yard. And well, her mom did, or her family seen her. We don't know who it was that seen her, but someone in her family seen her playing outside at 3:45. Now, when your kid's been gone all day at school, you see them outside in the yard, you know they've gotten off the bus 30 minutes earlier. Why would you not invite them in and ask them how their day is? Do they have homework? Are you hungry? Do you want something to drink? Why is it customary to just let your kid go from the bus to the yard and that's it? You don't make any contact with them. I don't understand that at all. They've been gone all day long. When I'm separated from my kids and they're at school, when they get home, I'm excited to see them. I want to know how their day is. I want to know if they have a lot of homework. I want to know if what they want to do. I want to know what they want for dinner. And this family lets her get off the bus at 3:15, 3:45, and they glance in the yard and they see her out there. So they haven't seen her all day, and they're like, oh, yep, she's in the yard, and they go on to what they're doing. It's the mother, the mother's mother, and the boyfriend that live in the home. Yes, there's a boyfriend. And I don't know if he's innocent or guilty yet. I have to watch this update that she's talking about before I can make that assumption. But it's just devastating that this precious little girl, she's only 6 years old. Let me show you a picture of her. Let me show you a picture of this beautiful little girl. Images. Look at her. Oh my God. That's her. Okay. This is who has been missing since Monday when she got off the bus. Let me give you some little bit more information. 11 minutes ago. Says there's increased police presence in her neighborhood. It's from Casey, South Carolina. She's only 6 years old. She's been missing since Monday. At 10:45 a.m. with the Casey Department of Public Safety had a news conference about the continued search.
Good morning. My name is Ed for the City of Casey Department of Public Safety. We're here for update briefing in the search for Faye Marie Swetlik. What I can tell you, I have a few things to share with you this morning. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to all of our media people that are here sharing this story. Based on the shares we got last night of those 2 vehicles that we posted, we were able to identify the occupants of the SUV. Our investigators were able to talk to those people and ask the questions that we had been asking everyone else that was in the neighborhood at the time of Faye's disappearance. That was a piece of the puzzle that we were trying to put together, and because of the community's help, we did that. We are still looking to identify the occupants of the sedan that we showed in that video. We've updated our social media. We want you to take a look back at that. And if you have any information about that vehicle, please call the Faye Marie Swetlik tip line. It's 803-205-4444. I can also say that our work is ongoing. Since 5 o'clock on Monday, we have been nonstop trying to bring Faye home. Our investigation is the largest scale investigation that I've ever been a part of. Something that we rarely see in this area. As part of that investigation, some of you have asked about vehicles and vehicles that may have been towed away. You've asked about homes being searched. What I can tell you is this, that in the neighborhood of Churchill Heights, our investigators have gone to every door. We have talked to everyone that lives in that neighborhood. If we have missed anyone in that neighborhood, we are following up on that every few hours to send another crew to those houses that we have missed. As part of investigations of this nature, we do tow vehicles. I can confirm there were vehicles towed from that residence, from where Faye was last seen. But as part of our investigation, I can't share with you details of anything that may or may not have been found in those vehicles. I can also tell you that the house, Faye's house that she lives in, that with her mother, we have looked at that house multiple times. We have been there and had an officer on that house since 5 p.m. on Monday. That is normal business in a case of this nature where we are trying to bring Faye home.
They're not experienced.
Investigators. I know some of you have seen investigators in the area.
He's basically saying they've never dealt with a case this big. They're not experienced enough. Why have they not called in the FBI? He said this is the biggest case that they've ever had to cover. They need to call in reinforcements. I'm tired of these local law enforcement thinking that they can do it all alone, thinking that they don't need no help. We got this. And only calling on the FBI for recovery of the bodies. Why don't you call on them for the investigation? Why don't you admit that they deal with this on a regular basis, that they have more experience, they have more resources, they have more tools? And if you think I'm too loud right now, then unsubscribe. I'm tired of these kids not having voices. I'm tired of the police department dropping the ball on them because they don't want to do the work. It can be an open cold case for 10 years before you go and say no foul play. They've said the same thing. They said no foul play. How can you say no foul play when it's an ongoing investigation? How? Answer me that.
Behind trash trucks. Some of you have seen investigators at the landfill, the Lexington County landfill off Edmond Highway. Let me say this. In a case of this nature, we are leaving no stone unturned. We are looking for even the smallest piece of evidence that could point us in the direction of bringing Faye home. Whether we find that in a backyard of a residence in Churchill Heights, whether we find that in a trash truck, whether we find that at a collection center on Edmond Highway, we just want to get it. We want to get it and provide it to our investigators and let them do what they do. The FBI has a systematic way of doing things, and it is proven to work, and that is what we're using, because our goal is still and remains to bring Faye home. Can I take any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Second, the vehicle that you described right now, do you have other images of that vehicle closer to Faye's home?
So, absolutely. So that's a great question. So as of this morning, we're still gathering more video. Video is coming in by the hour, and we have a team of investigators and our tech guys and females that are looking through those videos. We are getting videos, and we're trying to find a clearer picture of that to put out to the community.
But have you seen it on surveillance closer to where she is?
I personally have not seen it. Again, what in investigations such as this, those guys go through those videos, and when they get it, we know about it and we push it out immediately. Those pictures of those vehicles were pushed out within minutes of them finding them and actually realizing that we may or may not have spoken with those individuals. Yes, sir.
Speaking of those vehicles, Sergeant, you guys actually talked to someone. Can you tell us, were the people who were in the SUV, were they just visiting the neighborhood? Do they live there?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Unfortunately, we have to keep some parts of this investigation under wraps, if you will. We cannot share details of.
It's in South Carolina, and the child is 6 years old, Julie. She got off the bus on Monday morning. Her parents didn't make any contact with her after she got off the bus. They just saw her playing in the yard around 3:45, or her mom. Her mom lives with her boyfriend, or has a boyfriend, that was in the home. And they saw her outside playing at 3:45, and then they called the police at 5 o'clock and said she was missing. And that's all only information they've given, is that the poor 6-year-old little girl got off the bus at 3:15. Her mom saw her outside, or her grandma saw her outside at 3:45. No one made contact with her. No one asked her how her day went. No one asked her to bring her backpack inside. No one even made contact with her after she'd been gone since 7 o'clock that morning. Well, next thing you know, 5 o'clock, they're calling the police saying she's missing. And that's all we've been given. We know that 2 cars were towed away from the house. We know that that she has a boyfriend. The mom has a boyfriend. And that's pretty much all we know. It's super sad.
An ongoing investigation of this magnitude. Because again, we have our eyes wide open looking to see where Faye is. And so we're exploring every possibility. And so it was great for us to be able to talk to them. It was. We want to move forward now and shift our focus to that next vehicle.
Exactly. So we're approaching 72 hours now that Faye has been missing. How critical is this window of time right now?
72 hours.
Are you any closer to understanding what happened?
So I can say that we are closer than we were at 5 o'clock on Monday. I can say that the phone line has been ringing nonstop. As the phone rings, those leads get passed to an investigator, and we follow up. We all know that time is critical in situations such as these. We are still committed to bringing Faye home, just as we were at 5 o'clock on Monday. Yes, ma'am, you have one.
Is this still considered a search at this point? There was some information floating around about a possible recovery mission, but is this still considered a search at this point? And do you have any persons of interest or suspects that have been?
So you have a two-part question. So the first is you asked, was this a search? Absolutely. We are working to bring Faye home. The second part of your question was?
Do you have any persons of interest right now?
We're following.
I agree, Radmilia.
As they come in. I can't comment on specific suspects or any persons of interest. What I can tell you is that our tip line is working. What does not work very well are messages or phone calls.
I agree, Lisa.
Other than that tip line. We have a systematic process in our incident command center that when those tips come in, we document that in a standardized fashion, and it goes straight to an investigator. So if you have information that you want to get to us, do not send it to our Facebook Messenger. Do not send it to your friend. Pick up the phone and dial 803-205-4444. You can remain anonymous if you would like, but that is how you get the information across. Yes, sir.
I'm Reverend Frank Johnson out of Arizona. A lot of church folks, they concerned, calling me, wonder, do the family plan on coming up and ask us to help them find the child? You know, most of the time when a child gets missing, the mama, the daddy, grandma, they all come up and say, please help find.
Thank you. Thank you to this man that said that.
Absolutely. So that's a great
Hold
question.
on.
And our tech guy, those vehicles were pushed out. And so we're exploring every possible.
I messed up and lost my place.
And I can't comment on specific suspects or any persons of interest.
Okay, what I'm trying to say here is what Lisa just said, or somebody just said, why are the parents not coming forward? A man just asked that question to this officer in this press conference. Why are the mom, the dad, or nobody coming out and pleading for help? He says that he is a pastor of the church down the road, and none of the family members have asked to help find this baby.
What I can tell you is that our tip line is working.
He's about to ask the question right now.
What does not work very well are messages.
Listen.
Or phone calls to anything other than that tip line. We have a systematic process in our incident command center that when those tips come in, we document that in a standardized fashion, and it goes straight to an investigator. So if you have information that you want to get to us, do not send it to our Facebook Messenger. Do not send it to your friend. Pick up the phone and dial 803-205-4444.
Now listen to this question.
You can remain anonymous if you would like, but that is how you get the information across. Yes, sir.
I'm Reverend Frank Johnson out of Arizona. A lot of church folks, they concerned, it's calling me, wonder, do the family plan on coming up and ask us to help them find the child? You know, most of the time when a child gets missing, the mama, the daddy, grandma, they all come up and say, please help us find the child. Can you tell them they're going to come speak to the meeting?
Well, I can't comment on whether or not they're going to come. That's not my decision. That's their decision. I know a lot of times in these types of things, people want their privacy. Being a father myself, I can't even begin to speculate where my mind would be if I was in their shoes. What I can tell you is this, is that our work is ongoing, and we and members of that family have been cooperating with our investigation from the beginning, and we can.
So instead of saying no, they haven't came out, they haven't made a plea for help. It'd be different if he was, abducted or something. He's missing. No one knows where he's at. They think there's no foul play. So why have the parents not come forward? And why would this officer pretend like he wouldn't come forward if his kids were missing? You best believe I would be on News 13, News 11, News 12, News 3, News 4. I don't care what anybody said. You couldn't get me to shut up until my child was found. I don't care if I got raked across the coals. I don't care if they said I did it. I would know in my heart that I didn't do it, and I wanted to get the word out. I would go on every YouTube channel, and maybe people are different, but it just, if you can't do it as a parent, Send someone else in the family to do it, to represent you. Have your lawyer do it. But you need to make a public plea to bring your child home. What if someone has them? And what if your suffering causes them some little bit of guilt and they end up pushing them out somewhere? He acts like people don't come forward all the time. And that's not true. Even people that are guilty, like Chris Piss Rots, comes forward and does a church or porch sermon. Even guilty people make a plea for missing children.
Continue to work to bring Faye home. Yes, ma'am.
One more question.
I'm sorry, I'll come back to you. Yes, ma'am.
The FBI, since y'all was here, this is a very serious issue. You got SLED here, which got more experience than y'all got. They got people here that been doing it. Why SLED is not coming to get involved in this? Why the FBI? We got to look around 6 years ago.
Thank you, man. I love this guy. He's saying you've got SLED here, which is a search and rescue people. Why are you not calling the FBI? This man just called him out. He said, you said it yourself that you're inexperienced, but why are y'all not calling the FBI? Why are you not calling in reinforcements? And let's see what he says to answer that question. I love this guy in the audience.
Yes, sir.
Oh, why me? Sorry, it'll be right there. Should be. What happened? Did I turn it down or something? Oh, Lord, have mercy on my soul.
We have partners with SLED. All those agencies are working. Yes, ma'am.
The FBI, since y'all was here, this is a very serious issue. You got SLED here, which got more experience than y'all got. They got people here that been doing it. Why SLED is not coming to get involved in this? Why the FBI? We got a little girl 6 years old. She missed. And we need all the information. Now you got people home crying. I ain't sleep.
Yes, sir. So let me address
You guys gonna come in and be direct and get this thing so we can solve this.
All right, let me address that for you real quick. So as an agency, we have partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We have partners with SLED. All those agencies are working hand in hand to bring Faye home. Next question.
Yeah, but you're not letting them work on the case, just like Port Clinton. They wouldn't let FBI help until it came to the recovery. And he just admitted they're working hand in hand, but they're not giving them information. They're not letting them get involved because my daddy was a chief of police for a long time, for 15 years. Okay? My dad was chief of police for 15 years. And I saw it with my own eyes. They do not like other organizations. The local police does not like the city police, don't like the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office don't like the city police. And they're real adamant about whose jurisdiction it's in and who's doing what. And you're not getting involved. This is our case. Same goes for the local cops, the city cops, the sheriffs, the FBI, the state police. They do not like each other. It is this holier than thou, proud aspect that we want to solve it ourselves. We don't want them involved. And I'm sure you've seen it in your own cities too. The city police and the sheriff's department hate each other. They do not like working together on anything. They either give it to the sheriff's office or they give it to the local police and they wash their hands of it. None of them work hand in hand. And the thing is when you turn it over to the FBI, the local police gets told what to do by the FBI. The FBI says, okay, you're going to collect evidence, like they told the Frederick Police Department in the Piss Rots case. They told them you're going to bag and collect evidence to the local police. And then the FBI handled the polygraphs, the interviews, and all of that. And they don't want to be kicked off this case. This guy right here may want to run for sheriff one day. And if he can bring home Faye Swetlik on his own without the FBI, it will get him into the sheriff's position. Sick, you guys.
Business as usual. As leads come in, we assign investigators to those leads. So we normally have briefings in the morning with our oncoming shift. We give them an update of where we are. We follow up on leads from the night shift that maybe we couldn't quite tie up or couldn't finish. Those people go out. At 3 o'clock this afternoon, there'd be a whole new shift of police officers and law enforcement officers coming in and continuing that.
But not FBI.
I can't speculate. What I can tell you is that we will, if we have to hold that neighborhood for another hour or another week, we are going to continue to hold it until our investigation won't be hindered by releasing it, if you will. Our mission is to bring Faye home. We understand that the neighbors are concerned that we're in the neighborhood and locking them down. At this point, we have a missing 6-year-old little girl, and we are going to do everything in our power to bring her home. All right, one last question.
So for the search perimeter, you said yesterday it was around Airport Boulevard going over toward I-26. Has that area been expanded at all since yesterday?
We're still in the same area. We're still searching. Again, like I told you, we do have people following on trash trucks and things of that nature.
I'm so sorry, Julie.
Investigation to go outside of
This is what I want to end this video on. I'm so sorry, Julie. Okay, you guys, think about this for a second. I got to go because my godfather's on his way, or I would hang out with y'all all night. But think about this for a second, okay? Gannon's stepmother saw Harley's mother and stepfather, or real father, whatever you believe, who cares? Those are semantics. Gannon's stepmother saw Heather Dilly get away with what she got away with. She saw law enforcement protect Heather Dilly and say there was no foul play. She knew and saw what the results with Harley were, that it was a cover-up. Everybody knows it was a cover-up. And so that gave her more of comfort to do what she did, because we are allowing these parents to do these things, and the whole world even knows it. Half the world is screaming in rage over Harley, and yet this mother was like, oh, Heather Dilly got away with it, so maybe I can too. And then how do we know that these parents from South Carolina didn't see the stepmom get away with it and then seen Harley not get any justice, and they decided that they were going to do the same thing? We are letting parents know that this is okay by letting people get off scot-free and not doing anything about it, by not charging them with neglect, by not charging them with anything. We are letting these pedos and these horrible parents that don't deserve children think that they can get away with it. We are showing them that it happens. And that is pissing me off. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. I can't end it.